Yeah, all right, there we go. Hello, welcome. Susan, hi Yvonne, hi Deborah, hi Wendy, hi Laura, hi Patsy, good morning. And if it's not 11 o'clock Sunday, you're watching this as a video, but you're welcome either way. And thank you for joining us. For those that are new, I'm Adam, and this is the Medium channel where we bring you the spirituality behind the message and practices like mediumship and tarot today, as well as law of attraction, meditation, and spirituality in general. So thanks and welcome, everybody. So we're going to get started with our tarot work in just a second. I'm just going to flip my phone off just because it's my Wi-Fi signal's not the best here, so it's just like one less device to have to. There we go, and I'm turning the sound off. So, oh God, excuse me, my nose is itching. All right, so interesting times indeed, and last time we talked, I forgot exactly what we talked about. But there are some cards suggesting a lot of upheaval beneath the surface. I've been honestly heard a lot going on the news, but there's definitely like some stuff that's happening. We're in a void of course moon now until for a couple more hours, and then Saturn and Uranus are squaring. So there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of angst, around us and beneath the surface. So what we do for those again that are new, yeah, and again, if you want to say hi and introduce yourself and where you are in the big wide world, please feel free to do that. And what was I going to say? Yeah, I'm feeling very void of course, Moon. I can't seem to hold a single thought in my brain this morning. But then, oh, now I know. Yes. So what we do is I talk a little bit about tarot. We do a meditation card. We do a 3-card spread for the week, which is can be events that are going on in the world, but mostly what's happening in collective consciousness. And the Great Awakening is on course. I'm seeing a lot of signs of it. And around the world, people are waking up. It is happening. There's a lot of suppression of knowledge. There's a lot of suppression of the awakening. That's primarily because the powers that be that benefit from having people unawake don't want people to be awake because it's not good for their bottom line. It's like everything has to change, and those in control and power have to relinquish some of that control and power. So same as it ever was, as David Byrne once said in one of his songs. This has been going on for millennia, but we're reaching ahead. We are awakening, and the vibration is building. It's increasing. The energy is increasing. A lot of us are having high highs and low lows. A lot of emotional stuff. A lot of purging, and that's likely to continue. And with Saturn, which is really about the structure. It's about lessons, learning, karma, all that stuff with Uranus squaring. And squares are kind of a tension between two energies when they square. And Uranus is really about revolution. It's about higher mind. It's really about it's very Aquarian in energy. So I don't think if we have, I don't think any of my astrologer friends are on today, but I don't think these planets necessarily get along with each other. I'll put it that way. So you can expect, and as I'm talking, for whatever reason, Hunter Biden popped up in my mind, and I'm wondering if the Bidens are going to come under a little heat over the next couple of weeks, just to sort of add to the drama of what's going on in the country and the world and everything. Um, but in any event, it's definitely interesting energy, interesting times. My feeling is for everybody, that's part of this community and this world community of awakening and evolving souls, is do a lot of grounding, a lot of lower chakra work. We want to keep our roots strong so that the our lower chakras are basically like the roots of the tree, and then we rise the energy up. and bring it up to the top of our heads. There's a wonderful breathing technique that I've actually shared in one of my live streams, called supernatural breathing from Dr. Joe Dispenza. That's taking Kundalini yoga principles, but it's really quite wonderful. It's sort of changing my whole like vibration since I started to do it. So, anyways, but the idea is really strengthening at the root, but then bringing the energy up to the upper chakras and then expanding through the crown that way. So I wanted to talk about, a little bit about manifestation too. We just had a new moon. It was an eclipse, as all of you know. Um, Waxy moons tend to be good times to bring energy toward you to manifest things. I talk a lot about tarot in terms of a meditation tool, as well as a tool for divination, choice center predictions, and all that stuff. But it can also be a really wonderful manifestation tool as well. And you can pick out cards that best represent what you wish to manifest in your life. Like, it's a good example. Like, if you want to create more finances, cards like the World card from the Major Arcana, maybe the Ace of Pentacles or Ten of Pentacles from the Minor Arcana, are good for that. These cards represent aspects of consciousness, and by the same token that you can look into cards and get a glimpse of maybe a possible future, you can also use the power to augment your manifestation. And a good way to do this is you find the appropriate card. If you want more of a romantic, beginning, the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Empress card, which is Venus energy. These are all good choices also. So, and sometimes, with card, I love when I have one of my favorite cards right on the bottom. So the Star card is very Aquarian in energy, and then there's the Tower card. This is interesting. I don't generally do this. And the Queen of Cups reversed. Lots of change. Lots going on. Lots going on. So, anyways, and I know I'm all over the place this morning. I need water. So when I do manifestation work through cards, I like to pick 3 cards. 3 is a magic number. It's Jupiterian, it's expansion, it's growth, it's higher mind, higher education. And it also represents the 3 pillars on the tree of life, or the 3 fates, as it were. So 3 cards that best represent what you're creating in your life, doing the affirmations, the visualizations, always in the present tense. All possibilities already exist. It's already happening in spirit or consciousness or the quantum field, that all possibilities already exist. So what we're experiencing in our life is basically a reflection of what energy we're putting out into the world, both individually and collectively. And individually, we can start to influence the collective. The more people that really awaken and really tune into love, tune into higher vibration and energy, that has a butterfly effect on the on consciousness around you. The butterfly effect from I believe it's chaos theory from quantum physics, although I may have my terminologies a little bit off. Just states when a butterfly flaps its wings, a ripple effect is felt throughout the world. If you're very close to the butterfly, the ripple is stronger. If you're farther away, it's less strong. So that's basically how consciousness works. So as we're awakening, as we're healing ourselves, we are helping other people to heal as well. And that's the name of the game. We're all connected through consciousness. We're one at the heart. We're individuals of the body, but we're one at the heart center in the heart chakra. So, anyways, what I'd like to do, 11, 12, I missed 11, 11 again, darn. 11, 12. So I'm going to pull a meditation card for this group that's here both live and that's going to be here watching this as a video whenever. This is your card. This is our card. And when we meditate with tarot, the way I do it and teach it is you take a mental snapshot, you visualize the card, then you step into the card. You get present, relax and present first, and step into the card. And then you take in the whole panoramic scene. So each card is just showing you, again, like one small image of a whole panoramic scene. So when you step into the card, you may see, feel, sense, and experience things that aren't necessarily shown on the pictures of these cards. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, this one fell out. This is our card here. This is our meditation card. I've been thinking about the strength card all morning also. I'm not sure why. Is anything in Leo now that's important? I think the moon's going into Leo today. Oh, okay. And anyway, I believe any astrologers on? I believe the moon's void of course in Cancer and is about to go into Leo. I think at 2:22 today, Eastern time. So strength card is key 11, but is key. But in modern tarot, it became key 8 in the major arcana. So it's 11 or 8, represents the sign Leo. And strength is interesting because this is really about inner strength. It's kind of like, I'm just taking a look at this for myself. Because you got the infinity sign, like the magician card, and the lion, he's taming the lion. That could really be more about strength coming from self-mastery, basically, as well. So this is really a card of finding our own inner strength, our own inner truth and everything. The moon enters Leo 2:22. Thank you for validating that. And Laura says, I'm making perfect sense. Okay, good. So this is our meditation card. We need to find our inner strength. It just feels like, and if you guys, I've been really like in an energetics highs and lows this week. A lot, this, it's interesting because the strength card also rules the heart, I believe, or the sign Leo does. And I know I've been having like a lot of like palpitations the last several days and stuff like that. I think we're all in this kind of reset energy, in this reset mode. Um, I haven't been checking the Schumann resonance lately, but it's been off the charts. It's just like a measure of some low frequency energy that runs through the earth. But it's kind of at a factor of like at least 100 of what it used to be. And a lot of people see that as a sign of awakening. So, again, I think there's a lot that's going on, that there's a lot that you're not finding in mainstream news, but that's really ex- exposing on some level a lot of the corruption that's part of all the systems, whether you're talking about the government or the way coronavirus has been handled or mishandled, as the case may be. The education systems, the pharmaceutical systems, big tech, you name it. There's a lot of control. It's always been this way. I feel like this card is telling us really to find our inner strength, be true to our inner values. And if we're able to really tune in to our own heart, to our own spirit, and finding what our own inner values are, that we can be more effective in our lives, and we can be more effective as spiritual teachers, and effective in our growth also, basically, as well. So again, this is the Hanson Roberts deck. What you can do is just take a mental snapshot of this card, or if you have tarot cards, pull out the strength card. Do a little meditation each day and see what the strength card has to tell you. What messages are important to you in terms of you really being in your power and being in your what's another word for in your power, in your strength, in your divinity, and to follow and trust your heart, follow your gut, follow your instincts. So see what messages that you get. So I'm gonna do 3 cards also. Means for so so Iman, the moon's about to move into your sign, and I don't know what signs. You should know all this astrological stuff because Uranus has been a big player for a while. Yeah, with all the with the Mercury retrogrades and all the stuff that's going on, and Saturn is where in Aquarius, or now I'm do I have my specs? Yeah, now I have to double check this. Excuse me, reading glasses. Yes, I'm 62. I need them. Especially when this is the ephemera, so you see why you need reading glasses, right? So we are in the month of June, and Saturn is. I thought Saturn was in Aquarius, right in the middle in retrograde, and Uranus is in right. Uranus is in Taurus, so they're in fixed signs. They're squaring. Things may get a little bit dicey this week or the next couple weeks because they're going to stay in a square for at least another week or so. All right. Now that we've established that, I hope the weather's nice by you. It's kind of gray here in the Catskills today. Kind of a peaceful, cloudy day. Void of course moons. I mean, this isn't a real long one. We had a much longer one right after the eclipse on whatever day that was, Wednesday or Thursday. And although it tended to be a little bit of a scattered time and not necessarily the best time to take affirmative action with things, but it's a good time just to chill out and just to release basically, and to be in a greater sense of peace. All right, so mixing cards up. In other news, and Mercury's retrograde. There's been a lot of the technology stuff, the usual things. For a lot of people, including myself, it's been about the nastiest of the retrogrades that I remember in quite a long time. But it is what it is. Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year, and it's either in retrograde or slow for a third of every year. So during the retrogrades, again, this is more the internal time. A lot of past stuff comes up, and a lot of things get revisited. That's maybe why Hunter Biden popped up in my mind earlier. Those scandals or things around the Bidens may start to pop up. There's been a lot of conjecture. You have to go beyond mainstream news, and when you go into internet news, you have to be very discerning to understand which websites are really trying to give you like what's real and what's going on versus those that have a political agenda, which a lot of them do, whether they're right wing or left wing. And as some of you may have seen the Native American meme, I posted that a few times on other social media, but this is really about unity. And the meme has this Native American chief or medicine man saying, "What if I told you the right wing and the left wing belong to the same bird?" And I said, "Yep, that is true." Two sides, the 2 wings of the same dirty, corrupt bird. Yep. So the strength card was saying, stay focused, stay in your lane. So, especially with the Mercury retrograde. And the other interesting thing is, now that there seems to be somewhat of a handle on what's been going on with the virus, numbers are down or whatever, people are a little bit less afraid. It's like, what are they going to pull out now to get people scared? Murder hornets. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. All right, so I always ask Spirit. I say a little prayer in my mind to just guide me to the right cards for this group, both here as a live stream, as well as who's going to come in later on. It's still the same group. I thought the Tower card would come up, and I'm not disappointed. Here's what we have. So the Tower card's the first card. Sometimes the structure has to fall to be rebuilt. I really seeing this Three of Cups as a sign of different factions may be talking and trying to resolve something. As I'm looking at this, what popped into my mind was was I don't even want to call it a crisis because it's been ongoing, but we'll call it a crisis between in the Middle East or in Israel, Palestine, and the stuff that's been going on there as well. I can kind of see this as groups of people meeting and maybe trying to iron out some differences or smooth things out. This looks to me like a crier, like a bringer of the news, I want to say as well. So I think there's going to be some news. I think in a way this might come up as good news, and there may be, as far as restrictions on the virus, that there may be the next step of loosening them or something like that. But there's a lot of undercurrenting energy here, I want to say as well. I think that what this is trying to say, and I don't know, again, I don't know what you guys have been feeling lately, but I have to say, I've definitely been feeling a lot of changes, just the way that I feel, and a lot of energy moving through me and around me, and I just think that there's that a big shift is happening beneath the surface of things, or within consciousness, and I think a lot of people are really some people are going through a very hard time. Some people are not feeling great or don't know why, or these what they call ascension symptoms, which is basically as the energy shifts, the vibrations that go through our bodies increase, and our bodies and nervous systems need to adjust and adapt to these changes. So so I think there's a lot of that stuff, but I'm really kind of getting the sense of like meetings and trying to figure things out. I think that there may be a few things that start to get exposed also. I'm just checking out you guys' feedback. Yeah, that's the one of the things. We'll have to kind of see what's going to come next or what's going to happen. I need to flip this around just so I can maybe get some impression about that as well. Yeah, I'm looking at these, and what the expression that comes into my mind is a lot of talk and no action is kind of what pops up in my head as well. So I don't know exactly what that means, but we may be starting to get some some lip service from the media about this is changing, or everything's under control, or whatever, or or things that are trying to get more people to get on board with getting their vaccinations and stuff. But I think that's out of the bag too, and I think again, I don't think that they're going to be able to suppress all that's going on. I think that people are questioning things, and just there's more questions than answers, and a lot of stuff as well. There may be just some things that have been suppressed about maybe things in the governments, or the side effects of vaccines that some people have, most people don't, but if if you do, like any other medication, I'm not exactly sure. This might be a surprise for me also as well, but I feel like we're going to get some news from other countries, and then all of a sudden India popped up in my mind, and in this card it kind of looks a little bit like the piece of the Himalayas in the background as well. So that could be where some of the misleading information comes in, or some news about how things have been mishandled. Like they've shown, although you won't see this in mainstream news, that there's a, I don't know where it is, in Jakarta was, no, not Jakarta, that's in Indonesia. Somewhere in India, that there's this state of the art facility that can, make many millions of doses of vaccines, and India's been going through a lot, but it's only operating at about a third of capacity. And I think, the methods of distribution of vaccines tend to favor the richer countries rather than the poorer countries. I think as I'm talking, I feel like people are going to question like why certain areas aren't being taken care of, and why things got so out of control in India, when again, I wouldn't say that it was preventable, but I think it was more manageable than what happened. And I think those are some of the questions that are starting to come out, and a lot of things, a lot of the corruption. It's just like this tidal wave that's building beneath the surface. And with this card, this is very consistent with the Saturn Uranus square that's happening. Like I was saying earlier, Saturn is more the structure, but Uranus blows up the structure, it's more revolutionary. And so they're not planets that really jive well together in the first place. And the square adds tension. It's a very powerful energy. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. And there's nothing that's negative. It's just what is. It's just we've been living in a society, in a global society, that's been unsustainable for many decades. It's been, constantly patched up, talking about government systems, financial systems, the whole nine. It's been unsustainable. Now, a global crisis comes up, a virus, it brings the whole thing down. So it exposes the weakness is in our infrastructures, in our financial structures, in our world structures. And they've really been trying to suppress a lot of what's really happening. But beneath the surface, I do feel like, and I feel like these cards are saying, there is a real crisis of identity of our societies that's happening now. And I almost feel like these cards are taking a very broad view and just saying that groups of people, because I'm seeing this as groups getting together, like communities, and really trying to work to help the world, to help rebuild the world, basically, as well. So I think one of the messages for us as this community that comes in to my videos and other spiritual teachers' videos, like the spiritual communities, this is really the time to get together, to expand and grow, and to keep sharing and to keep supporting one another, basically. So on that note, goes around and I see that groups want to control. Oh, that's an excellent take, Laura. Yeah, and I think that's a very accurate take. Yeah, again, that feels right. That it's like, okay, this is going on. How can we patch this up, or what can we say to the public that's gonna, that they're gonna like believe? Basically, we're all programmed. Not all programming is negative. Yeah, our subconscious mind works on programs. The conscious mind's the programmer. We upload the programs into our subconscious mind. Through the power of repetition, it becomes set in our hard drives. So all that's being dislodged, and a lot of disillusionment that's happening as well. So this is the time to reprogram, and to reprogram based on empowerment, based on truth, that we're spirits having a human experience. We're connected to Great Spirit or God, the source of all power. So we have access to the power that created this entire universe. Yet we're very diminished in our beliefs and in our values and all of that is programming through the society to stay in line, for them to have the control and for us to really not come into our full power and our full truth. So in smaller groups, people are, I mean, it's always been this way. There's always been groups of spiritual people, and I had my awakening in my first awakening. I'm still awakening. But my initial awakening, where all of a sudden in the flash I knew everything, and I knew everything that I learned up until that point was wrong, and I had to relearn. That happened in 1979, and I've been on my spiritual path since. And the way it's being explained to me is that there's a mass shift and a mass awakening, and people like myself, they were calling the forerunners, like before me, that there's always been awakened people on the planet. There's always been enlightened masters, but then I think in my, we'll say, spiritual generation, like another handful of people started to tune into spirituality, and I've been doing this work, and now that there's a mass awakening, I've had the experiences to be one of the way showers, if that makes any sense. Anyway, it's getting late. Let me pull an angel card for the week for us, for an angel message. And this is it. So I ask the angels to guide me to the right card, and this will be the one. And we got Athena, which is also very, I mean, when I hear Athena or see Athena, I hear strength. Yeah, and that goes well with the strength card. So this is Doreen Virtue's messages from the angels deck, which I love. And the message here is, it is safe for you. What have we been talking about today? It is safe for you to be powerful. You know how to be powerful in a loving way that benefits others as well as yourself. And this is actually giving me an idea for a closing message. It's great to be a way shower, or somebody that points people in the direction of the truth. But to be effective, we need to be discerning also. Like, in other words, we can't just say or do things that may be true, but that's just so like over the top that it actually prevents people from understanding or getting, like, we have to find the right balance where we're expressing our power, where we're teaching people, because anybody that's drawn to this work is a light worker and a teacher, but without blowing people away to the point that they'll retreat or they'll get scared or they won't get it. So I have a feeling they're trying to say, be powerful, but be discerning in how you express your power. Not everybody's ready for your message. And sometimes people just need to be, what's the right word? Built up a little bit, or I can't think of the right expression now. Sometimes people need to develop in their own time, in their own pace, but always be there, always be a beacon of light and a source of power and a leader by example, I want to say as well. So that will be my final message of the day. And things that are going on in the channel, I think Wednesday I'm going to do my transmission on Facebook live rather than YouTube, because I want to cover other platforms. Of course, next Sunday is tarot time again. This Thursday's upload is about letting go. So I did a short letting go video, the way that I do it and teach it. So it's not necessarily going to be repeating exercises from David Hawkins' book, Letting Go, or Dr. Hawkins' book, Letting Go, like a lot of what teachers like to talk about on YouTube. And then on the 22nd, I'm going to do mediumship. That's going to be the year anniversary. So we're going to do live mediumship and a giveaway here on the channel. And then we're going to actually have a little party on the 29th where Heather Starr, our healer and editor, and I are going to do a transmission and a healing and have a little party and a giveaway. And I have a really cool, exciting announcement out something new we're going to be adding to the channel. So we're going to say that for the 29th. And thank you, everybody, for being here. And have a wonderful day and stay safe and do lots of meditation, lots of grounding work, feeling your root and sacral chakra building. And then you can, with your breath or intention, bring that energy up through your center line, through your third eye and the crown of your head. Open that pineal gland and the pituitary, and start to connect with your source or higher self. Have that gamma brainwave experience that's becoming more and more available to us. So namaste, aloha, and we'll see you next time.